What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Kiss Capades podcast. I have a very special guest with me. She's been hiding under a rock somewhere. But I managed to find her and bring her on the podcast. You've never seen her talking on radio, TV.
Oh, TV once, but not recently.
Yeah, I mean, people don't get to see you
No.
sharing anything at all.
Not anymore.
Not even pictures. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
So I'll just let you introduce yourself and then
Introduce myself?
Yeah, like your name, what you do, and then trust me, I have a bunch of questions.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the only work you get to do like on the podcast. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Poppy Miyonga and I'm a freelance photographer. And that's it. That's my introduction.
That's it? That's it?
That's all I am.
Hey. Okay, so I mean, we met, how long ago was it?
We met like 7 years ago, maybe? Six or 7
years ago.
Yeah.
Gee.
And I took pictures for Instagram in your t-shirts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know the craziest thing is like today,
Uh,
it's just because I took a safe border here, right?
okay.
And I was because I do have like a bunch of fresh t-shirts,
Okay. Yeah.
and I just remembered
Do
what
you?
happened.
You still make them?
Yes.
Okay.
I
yeah.
remembered like you were one of the people that I gave my
Yeah.
first t-shirts, and then I was like, it would have been
I was
so
an
nice.
OG.
Yes. And it would have been so nice if I took one
Yeah.
and brought it here and just showed you like.
Aw.
And then this safe border guy's like, I'm here at your gate.
You rushed out,
Eh,
huh?
And I was just like, I actually opened all of them, and then I
Yeah.
was trying to go through them.
Yeah.
And then all the sizes I could get was medium and small. But I know I'm sure you're an extra small.
I might be a small.
I don't think so, Poppy.
I don't know.
Not with my t-shirts. The way I know them, I
Yeah,
think it's
maybe.
just, but maybe you might be small.
Yeah.
Because they are Asian sizes.
Yeah, I'm not Asian.
No, listen, I'm talking about size.
I know.
Because if it's an American small,
Yeah,
at
or
times
European.
it tends to be like,
Yeah,
they're
bigger.
kind of different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
yeah.
wanted to bring you one, but I will send you one.
That's fine. I
soon.
can wait.
So, the podcast is about health, wealth, love, and happiness.
Yeah.
And I tend to normally just start with like career path and just what inspired you to get there. So in your case,
Yeah.
what did you want to be when growing up?
Ooh,
What was your dream
do you know,
job?
I've never told people this apart from like my family who obviously
That's why
know.
the podcast is here.
Ooh. Okay, no one's allowed to laugh at me.
Yeah.
Because it's funnily enough, it's not something like I dreamt about it when I was a child and I
Yeah.
always wanted to do this, but I still kind of like it's still there inside me. I wanted to be a builder and not like an architect, or when I
Yeah.
told my grandma, she was like, oh, you want to be an architect? I'm like, no, I want to lay the bricks. I want to do
Really?
the physical manual labor. Like and I still dream of building my own house. Now I don't want to just be a builder.
We have a
but-
lot of those in Kenya, and
Yeah.
you know.
I know, but that's not people's dream, is it? It's not like
No. Here's the thing. You know, it's when. What was the craziest thing I think I wanted to be when I was growing up? I can't remember, but it must have been something that now it doesn't make sense to
Yeah.
me. But then
Yeah,
that's
but for
what
me
would
it
have
still
made.
makes sense.
Really? Really?
Yeah, I think because I really love like being physically active.
Yeah.
And I that satisfaction of like building something and going, I did that with my hands and my sweat. You know, sweat
Yeah.
and blood. You know what I mean, though.
Literally.
Yeah, no. But
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? That like really hard work
Yeah.
and then seeing the final result. But that was like, yeah, my dream was
But
to
you
be
can
not
still do
nothing
that,
to do with
like,
photography. It
'cause-
was I want to be a builder.
most people do that like it's like a day job. Why don't you do
Yeah.
this? Why don't you pick one day?
I feel like I really don't have time for that.
No, pick one day. You don't
Mm.
dedicate because they're paid per day. Pick one day,
So,
and
okay.
then no, and then we can document that into like
Okay.
a 5-minute funny kind
Sure.
of video.
I mean, I still
down
want to
for
do
that?
it, so I'm down for that. I want to,
And what's
but I don't
stopping
have
you?
the skill. I need to learn. I need to be taught.
Come on.
No,
They'll just tell
it's
you
not
put
that
this
simple.
here, and then there's somebody supervising
Yeah.
or overlooking
Sure.
the work, and we'll see how long
How long I last?
How
if
long?
it's still a
It will-
dream,
it will
after,
last you.
after I do it.
to quit on that dream.
I don't think it will. Like I'm
Really?
I'm really like stubborn and very competitive. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's something that
I
you
will
still-
not. Yeah, I will not be satisfied until I've like completed what it is
Jeez.
I've set out.
Well,
to
take
do,
an
so.
attempt to it
Yeah.
when you still can.
What do you mean when I still can?
Because once you get older and then, your body
I'm
can't
still
really
young, it's
handle
okay. Yeah, no, I
pick
know.
one brick and your back is in pain and everything. But so,
Yeah.
so what kind of transformation did you go through to just become like a photographer? Were you in school here or?
No, I was
UK?
in school in England, and I was living in England.
How was that?
I mean, it was my life. So I mean, I loved it. I had such a great childhood. I feel like, yeah.
What are the best memories you have from childhood?
From my childhood,
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time outdoors. I grew up in the countryside in England, so I love like space and being able to go for a walk for like 2 hours and not see a single person. And I used to go out and like walk in the fields and like just try and catch lambs, sheep, baby sheep.
Yeah.
And do that for like hours. Like every day after school, I would go for a walk, and my mum would whistle for me like this. She'd whistle like this, and then I would know then that it's dinner time to come back home.
What?
Like, yeah, no.
How far? I mean, how she must be really good at.
Yeah, she's got quite a loud whistle, but when you know your mum's call as well, right?
Yeah. So somewhere in the field she can just do that, and you can tell like, okay, she's calling you.
Yeah.
And start.
Yeah, so I had a really fun childhood. I just spent a lot of time outdoors and like with nature and like literally like singing to myself in the woods.
And I can tell that from like, okay, I think that explains some of the Instagram pictures I used to see, not anymore.
Yeah.
Because it used to be like a lot of outdoor. I think
Yeah,
you're still
my
trying to connect to
personal
that,
stuff.
like,
Yeah.
the outdoor.
Especially when I moved here. Like I was definitely clinging onto that because I've never been at this. When I moved here was the first time I lived in a city. So
What?
yeah, so when I lived here when I was little, I lived
Yeah.
out near the national park, so close to here, but like in the countryside.
It's still in the countryside, like, yeah.
There was no cars coming past our house and stuff like that. It was in the bush, and then moved to England and lived in the countryside there. So I'm like such a country bum. All my childhood is like outdoors.
So the city doesn't excite you that much.
I think having travelled to different cities, like this year I went to Lisbon and last year I went to Cape Town, and I love some cities.
Yeah.
But I think actually those two cities, two of the main reasons I love them is because they're very like active cities. Like Cape Town, you've got the mountain and the beach and the sea and stuff.
Yeah.
And Lisbon, you walk a lot. It's like hills up and down,
It's
and you
kind of
walk a lot.
something you enjoy doing.
Yeah. So Nairobi I don't love as a city, I've got to be honest. I find it like I get very claustrophobic.
And that's Nairobi for you.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, it's just like a bunch of people.
Yeah, there's
all
people,
the time.
there's pollution, there's dust, there's noise.
True.
It's just like, oh.
What a nice way to describe Nairobi for people.
No, Nairobi is great for other reasons.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of them right now, but I can't
Like
think
what?
of any. The national park.
You took all of them away.
We've got a national park
Yeah.
that's enclosed within the city, and food. I like food in that.
The food is nice,
yeah,
right?
I feel like there's actually some of the best sushi I've ever had in my life is in Nairobi.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Okay, that I didn't know.
Food, and I'd never had that like living really close to your friends. If I lived
'cause
in
of
the
the
countryside, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a 40-minute walk to visit my best friend or whatever.
40?
Yeah, walking.
What?
Or
What?
like a
Are there
30-minute bike
bikes?
ride. Yeah, 20-minute bike ride.
there no
but
bikes
still,
in the countryside?
Like here, I'll get on the back of a boarder and I'll be at my best friend's house in
Oh
5
yeah,
minutes.
5 minutes. Yeah.
So that I really enjoy the closeness of like. Or
Being
even,
able to
yeah,
just
or
go
just
in.
saying like, oh, I don't have any tomatoes in the house. I can literally just walk downstairs and buy tomatoes. Whereas in where I grew up, it's like you have to prepare in advance, and like if you haven't got tomatoes, you're not having that meal then.
How's that transformation from? Because when I met you, I think that's when you had just come into the country.
Yeah.
And what made you decide to just come stay in Kenya?
My work, photography, and I wanted to be in Kenya. And so I couldn't live in Kenya and live in the countryside because I needed to work. So I had to be in Nairobi if I wanted to be in Kenya.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Nairobi that drew me back to Kenya. It was Kenya that drew me back to Kenya, and my childhood memories. And like I always said I would live here.
You're always being brought here. Your mom is from Kenya?
No,
Your
she's
dad?
English.
She's English,
Yeah.
and your dad is from Kenya?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, that's where the connection
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
And
so,
you used to come here as a kid?
yeah, so I lived here from 5 till 8, and then moved back to England. And then every few years we would come back for like 3 months, and I'd go back to my old school for 3 months, and then we'd go back to England. And then the last time I did that on my own, so no one else came with me, and I came here by myself. I was 14, and I stayed for 3 months. Yeah, I stayed with some family friends, but I went to my old school for 3 months, and then I went back to England, and I was so miserable, like so unhappy. And I told my mum, I was like, I just want to move back to Kenya, and I just want to be there. And she was like, you have to finish high school, you have to get your GCSEs.
At least get this done.
Exactly. And I was so miserable, I didn't want to do it. Like I was so unhappy.
Why were you miserable?
I don't know, I just felt like I wasn't at home.
Really?
Yeah, I felt really like I was like, people don't get who I am in England. Like I'm one person there, and I'm not
because you're not
fully
like
myself.
English, and you're not like
Yeah.
so you're just stuck in between.
But I think when I was here, I felt like my childhood self, having been here when I was little, and having that freedom of like running in the bush and being around animals and nature. And then I felt like, although I lived in the countryside, I felt like I wasn't completely myself. You know, I wasn't speaking Swahili, I wasn't with people who knew what I had been through when I was little and stuff. So I just felt like there was a whole part of me that was missing, and I was like, I can be myself when I'm in Kenya. But funnily enough, having been here for however many years, 8 years now, I feel like there's a part of me that's missing that's in England now, that I'm not completely myself when I'm here. So
but it's still a
about
process.
a balance.
It's a process, I think, as well.
I think I need to spend time between the two. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So now transformation slightly as you moved to being a photographer.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing, did you start photography back in
England? Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
How did that start?
I feel like I've told this story so many times.
Where? Apart from that one video that we did a long time ago. And you didn't even say it, did you?
No, I didn't in that
You
video,
didn't?
but I did it. I've done 2 like other interviews.
You don't
where I've
talk
said-
to interviews, so what do you mean?
No,
You've said
I
it,
have.
but maybe you've said it to close friends.
No, I've said it in 2 like interviews. One on What's Good Live, and one on a TV station.
Okay.
But anyways, basically my grandma gave me a camera, like a little digital camera. It didn't even have a viewfinder. It was just one of those like little pocket size. And I started taking lots of photos, of my friends and stuff and parties. And I just started to really enjoy it. And then in high school, it was an option as a GCSE. You could take art, you could take textiles, you could take photography. And so I did
you
art
had
and
that as a
photography.
class.
Exactly. And so that's where I like really grew to love it. And I got a better camera, and started taking more photos. And that's when my love for it grew. And then I was like, how did I, like, there's nothing else I would want to do in the world.
Apart from
like
this.
That was it. I just knew that was it.
What was your first actual camera like now? Moving from like what?
I had a Lumix Panasonic. I can't remember the model.
You forget your first camera?
Because it was that long ago. I was like 15. And then from that, then I moved to Canon. I had a 600D. Yeah.
I think when I met you,
I
were using.
600D.
It was a 600D?
Yeah, I had a 600D, but I had a really nice lens. I had an 85 1.2 lens, which I still have.
That lens was madness.
Yeah, now I have it on a full frame. I have a 5D Mark III.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good times.
I know.
Okay, now adapting just to like the Kenyan market and like just starting to get like paid gigs, because I mean I've had like a few photographers who like were saying how like it was tricky to like you know land specific clients and just balance like your cash flow in the country.
Yeah, I feel like when I moved here as well, I was 16, so no one took me seriously. Like I didn't have a website, I didn't have a massive portfolio of work, so I found it really hard to get paid jobs. And it's funny to think back now on the jobs that I took and I just wanted experience, to be honest. I was so willing to do anything. I just wanted to be busy and to be working and to learn. Exactly. And that's when I took an internship with Emmanuel Jambo, and learned so much from him. And just I wasn't being paid. I wasn't making loads of money, but I was getting so much experience, which is what has pushed me today to be where I am, because of that experience working. I think I was with him for like a year and a half or something.
And you're actually constantly in the field and
Yeah.
learning, like
Exactly.
shooting.
And seeing how to work with clients and how the industry is for photographers here. That was like, I couldn't have learned that from school. I
Yeah.
needed that experience with it, like firsthand. Yeah.
So what was the hardest part to learn about just getting clients and dealing with clients? Because now you're interning for Jumbo, and then now you start your own thing, like independently.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing was like knowing your self-worth and knowing like, and being strong with that. I really struggled in the beginning when you quote someone and they go, oh, that's really expensive, and you're like, okay, but that's what I think I'm worth. But I didn't have that confidence to say, oh, but I know I'm worth that, so I don't want the job then if you're not willing to pay me that, which I'm totally fine with doing that now. I don't have a problem with that. But before, I found that really hard, so I would end up taking the amount that they wanted to pay and then not enjoying it because I felt like I wasn't. I didn't put my heart into it because I felt like I wasn't getting what I deserved. So although once I built up like a body of work.
I forgot about us completely. You know, I've just realized like,
our food.
Yeah.
Once I built up a body of work, then it became much easier.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Remember why I told you about my usual person?
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah.
Why.
I got it.
Yeah. So what were you saying?
I was saying that once I built up a body of work, it was easier to get clients and be more confident in like my self-worth and But that was the hardest part, was like dealing with money. Because I also
that's
felt
always the
like
biggest issue, right?
Yeah, and I felt like I loved photography so much. I still love photography so much that, to be honest, I would be happy to do it for free, but I need to survive.
Yeah,
like the only reason I need money for it is because I need to.
Your
pay
landlord
my bills
doesn't share the same passion. Like, just
Exactly.
stay here for free. I like seeing people stay in my house for free.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
that's what it was.
What specialization are you in when it comes to photography?
I feel like portraits, I would say.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you. I specialize in portraits, people. I do other stuff, like even this week I've shot interiors, and I do travel and documentary sometimes, but I feel like the stuff that I am
passionate about, that makes you like, really happy.
Yeah, that's like people. I find people very interesting. Whether that is travel or documentary or weddings or family photo shoots, any of those I love doing.
That's nice, because I think, who else did I talk to? I think Tatiana was telling me about how at times you do have to like kind of like shoot almost everything.
Yeah.
And then now you start identifying like, this is what I actually...
Yeah. I do feel like now I'm lucky enough to say like, oh, I don't want to shoot that, or I do want to shoot that. But before, I definitely shot stuff that I didn't want to shoot or didn't enjoy shooting in order to get to where I am.
Looks good. Sure, you don't want
it
cake?
looks really good. It's not about wanting.
Oh, yeah.
I want it.
Yeah.
Look, this is the healthy version without the pastry and the sugar, and then the yogurt. And you've got the...
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I have the
delicious version,
healthier version.
No, I have the healthier version. Just because you've got some green mint on it doesn't make it...
The presentation is on fleek. Huh? This is nice.
Yeah, it looks good.
So,
really good.
Just as a photographer, like the people around you, like just friends and family, do they understand that? Because a lot of people tend to struggle.
Understand what?
I mean, because there's some people who, like, in their family, they're just used to people doing conventional jobs.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And arts is kind of like hard for, like, you'd have that one aunt who's like, no, don't let your daughter do this. Make sure she does this, because this is guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
This is not. So have you ever gone through...
So I feel like I have the best mum in the world. I have a mum who said, do whatever, like, follow your dreams, basically.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out, come back home and we'll start again. So I never felt like...
Oh, wait, she gave you that option?
Yeah. Literally, she told me that as well. You know, there's no shame in coming back home. Like, if you, like, never feel like you need to stick it out if you're not happy or you're
Come
struggling.
through, let's figure it out, and then you
Exactly.
can start again.
So because of that, I feel like I had that confidence to go out and do whatever it was I wanted to do, because I felt like I was supported in whatever I needed. But then, having spoken to my aunt, for example, she was like, yeah, I always thought it was a terrible idea. So, but look at you now, like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I should have just had confidence in you. And my grandma was very much wanted me to go to college, even if it was like
Green
photography
tea
school.
for her, and then
Thank you.
And your grandma.
Yeah. No, this is yours.
Oh, that's mine. That's mine. Green tea for her.
That's the mint tea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
your
My grandma wanted me to go to college, and you know, I think it's a different generation of, you know, when you think people need to study to get somewhere. And the value of kind of life experience.
Are you telling kids
isn't-
not to go to school?
I'm
and
not.
study?
No, I'm not. But
Is that the message we're putting out there?
No,
for
the
people?
message I'm putting out there is that university and college isn't for everyone, and it doesn't mean that you're going to fail in life because you don't have a degree and because you're not book smart, or, you know, and you can also, like me, get A's but not want to go to college. It
You're a
doesn't,
straight A student?
not straight A's.
Oh, okay, but you used to get like just proper
Yeah, I
like
got A's and A stars and B's in my GCSEs.
yeah.
But I didn't want to go
You
and
just
study
didn't feel like,
maths.
yeah.
Just because I'm good at it doesn't mean that that's what your passion is
Yeah.
and what you want to do in life. So that's my message, is like, do what you want to do.
And I think a lot of people nowadays, you can notice like there's some people, if you've met them, like they got stuck in that space where they were like, just because I'm good at reading and everything,
yeah.
they took up on a career,
Yeah.
and now they're like, I wish I did like something that I really do love.
And even people going to university, I've obviously never been to university, but I have people close to me who have gone to university and who
Same with
really
me.
have been around people who have really struggled because they didn't want to be there, and they're there because their parents think they're there, and then they actually don't get the most out of this expensive education. If they had waited a few years and worked out what they really wanted to do, maybe they would have gone to university, but they would have studied something different because they'd have
That they
found what it was
actually-
that they wanted to do, not what their
Or
parents
some
wanted
who
them to do.
study in uni,
Yeah.
they spend like 5, 6, 7 years, they pay all that school fees, and then once they're done,
They do something completely different.
completely different.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine if you put that money into something that you actually really love.
Exactly.
And that's where, like, now if you have really understanding and supportive parents, I think it can be like the best thing that happens to you.
No, I've been so lucky.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have, like, I didn't even want to do high school. I was miserable.
Okay, now high school, at least we have to finish.
I'm
Poppy.
so
Now that's
glad
just
my
pushing
mum,
it.
no, I'm glad my mum obviously made me
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, in the UK, legally, you have to be in education. Then it was up to 16, now it's up to 18, but I'm really glad I did that. But she didn't say you have to go to college. That was where I was allowed to do whatever it was I wanted to do. And who knows, maybe in the future I will go back and study something. But right now, I'm very content and happy where I am.
And you know, it's kind of tricky to get that space where like you just identify and you can tell yourself that I'm actually happy doing this, and that's what matters.
Yeah, because there are people, you know, who are miserable at university not doing what they love. I feel
Yeah.
like life is
A
way
lot
too
of
short
people.
to not do what you love. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's talking about support system, and just, you know, parents and friends do, and I think also friends, because if all your friends are doing like 8 to 5s,
Yeah.
and they're constantly telling you like, yo, why do this? When will you ever start being serious with what you're doing?
Yeah.
Are you serious with life?
Ah,
Yeah, that happens a lot, and even for me, had to like just. You also have to understand that's their perception of how they're looking at things, because they're in a very different space with
Yeah.
you. But just as an artist, if you understand like other people are doing it, people who inspired you, you know it's the direction of where you're going,
yeah.
right?
For sure.
So, just in photography,
Yeah.
do you ever see yourself going like mainstream working for brands, or have you worked with brands, or that's just not something that?
What, commercial? You
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. That's not a lane you're trying to tap into, because the people who are just comfortable with this,
It's.
and
I think I am open to it. It's not like I'm not against doing that. Who knows, like, what opportunities will come up in the future? But
I'll tell you why I'm asking that.
Okay.
No, not
Oh.
yet. I'm just waiting for you to finish first, and then
No,
I'll tell you why.
I'm open to it, but it's not my priority. That's not why I didn't get into photography, to be on the biggest billboard or to have the biggest Nike campaign, or do you know what I mean? If that came around, amazing, great, cool. But it's more about doing what I love and enjoying it rather than, that's not my biggest goal, I guess. Yeah.
Because the reason I've asked that, it's because of like how you're subtle with your Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really like almost like
I'm not
post-
going for likes. I'm
Yeah,
not posting
yeah.
for followers.
Yeah,
I'm just doing it for myself. Really.
yeah, like you'd post once a month or something. Yeah,
But I used to post like every other day at some point.
that's a long time ago, Poppy. Right? Not unless I'm mistaken. That's a
Yeah,
very long time ago.
It is a long time ago.
Because I'm thinking is have you ever thought of like just using your social media platform to create a bigger network perhaps, or just maybe monetizing it in a different way?
Yeah, I have thought about that a lot.
Getting an endorsement from Canon, they send you
Yeah,
like those gear for, a couple of lenses every year from
I know.
them.
I think that's amazing, but I also feel like for me, Instagram has been an amazing platform for me. It's got me a lot of work actually, but it's also been a very negative platform for me personally in my mental health. So
Let's talk
because
about
of
that.
I feel like that's a priority for me rather than making my career bigger, is to be like happy and well within myself before I even think about that kind of stuff. So I feel like I did a lot of like comparing myself to other people, and even now, to be honest, sometimes if I go on Instagram I find it very hard to kind of disconnect from that. So because of that, I delete my app. I don't have the app on my phone. When I want to upload something, I will download the app, upload it, and delete it again. I don't even want to check anything. I just check my DMs to see if there's any work.
Yeah.
And I encourage people to email me or contact me through my website or phone me or whatever. But I especially when it came to Instagram stories, I think that's when it got hard for me, because I think you just compare yourself to stuff, and also just videoing everything all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm doing this now, I'm doing that now, I'm doing this now, and it's not even.
You don't get to experience the actual.
I decided last year, it was about this time, it was October last year, I decided to delete it, and I said I'm just going to do it for the month of October, and then the month ended and I was like, but I don't actually want to get it back.
And you
I'm
feel
just
better
loving
and you feel
feeling
good.
free. Completely, exactly. So because of that, I'm not using Instagram as the main platform to project my career right now. So for now, that's how it's going to be. But I'm sure I'll get to a place where I can have the app and just look at it once a week anyway.
Just disconnect from, because like for me also, I just try not to look at things that don't inspire me. You know, those random things, and even just like looking at this person's video is better than mine.
Lost.
Oh,
you know, you just end up somewhere and you're like, how did I even get here?
Yeah, what am I doing? Why am I even thinking about this?
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect me in any way. Plus, it won't make me feel better about myself anyway. So I do try. Yeah. And you know, they have like a mute option nowadays. You can, even people you follow.
Someone
you can
told me about this the other day. I was like, oh, I can do that.
So they just don't pop up on your thingy.
Yeah.
And you can still just look at your own personal work. That's why now if you go to my
and
Instagram.
stuff that inspires you, I guess.
Exactly. You'll just see a lot. But I do get a lot of messages from people.
Yeah.
And I just tell them the easiest way is like, you really do have to focus on yourself.
Yeah.
The moment you start looking at something else,
or comparing yourself to
comparing. You can appreciate, but don't compare.
Exactly.
Once you compare,
I've just found my mental health, my physical health is better. So much better when I'm not on Instagram, which is I mean, I don't even post. If you go to my Instagram, it's my work and maybe a couple of pictures of like me and my family or me and my friends. It's not really how it used to be, which was much more personal. But even so, I just find it like I think I have a bit of a fear now because of that, of like to go down that hole. You know, I don't want to go back on it because I'm scared that might happen.
Yeah.
And I just also don't like spending that much time on my phone. And trust me, if I have the app, subconsciously, you just click on it. And I just find myself on it. I'm like, how did I even do that? So it's better to just delete it and just not have it on there.
It's a spell.
I find it very addictive. I really do.
And, you know, funny thing is, like, even UK is among the top places where people are depressed because of social media.
Seriously though,
Yeah.
I totally understand it.
Yeah.
I totally see it. And I wouldn't say I like got depressed or got to that point, but I could see it happening. I could feel it happening.
Yeah.
When you're
Can almost sense it, like, this is going to happen. If I keep
Exactly.
doing this,
Exactly.
it won't go down on a good road.
Exactly, and that's why I just took myself out of that situation, and I feel better for it. And it's not to say that Instagram is a negative thing. I think it can be a really positive thing, and if you're sharing things that can change someone's life in a positive way, I think that's really helpful. But for me right now, I think the balance, I have it right. I just use it to post what I need to post or want to share. If it gets 10 likes, cool. If it gets 400, cool. Like I really don't care. To be
Plus, you know,
honest.
it's so crazy because now the whole depression and pressure and all those things that come with it, like people even feel they need to buy likes
Yeah.
and followers. But you know
That,
how
to me, is
how
like
crazy that it is. That
madness.
is.
Because
It's
it's
like
not
having
even
an
real
imaginary
life.
friend.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
real life. Like
Yeah.
that is if Instagram disappeared today, I
You're
would
done.
still be the same
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
But some people get their confidence from how many people like their stuff on
Yep,
Instagram. So
yep.
if that's what you're relying on to make you happy or make you feel good, then that's not good. That's really not healthy. So
And a new app might just pop up, and then what
yeah,
next?
true, exactly.
You know, a lot of people will really lose it then. You know, those days where Instagram was down and the number of tweets.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, these are
Like,
new
people can't-
stories and everything. It's
Yeah.
like people died. It's like an epidemic of
You
just
can't
like, I
handle
don't,
it.
yeah. But yeah, you know, it's easy and it's also hard. But like
Yeah.
for me, I can honestly tell you, like, I do post at least 120 videos in total in a week.
Huh?
Yeah. Because I have to
That's
post on my
madness.
WhatsApp stories, Insta stories, on both accounts, my personal and podcast account. Because they're all helping to promote the podcast.
But I also feel like you're very much on there with a purpose. Like, I did a lot of like aimless scrolling.
Oh,
it wasn't
random.
that I was going on there to post stuff. I have loads of stuff. People used to ask me, why don't you post your work on Instagram? I'm like, yeah, I don't even... It wasn't like I was going on there to do something productive with my day.
Exactly.
Instead of that now, I can sit down and read a book and do that for an hour. Like, you can scroll for an hour and go, oh my God, where did that hour go? Or that's how I was anyway.
Yeah.
So,
But
Yeah.
you read books?
yeah.
What kind of books do you read?
All kinds of books, actually.
What
feel
are you
like I don't have,
currently
like, a
what are you
genre, but-
currently reading? Let's go with that. I
Oh
think
my
that
God,
would be
it's
more
I
specific.
don't even want to tell.
What?
Because it will sound so cringy.
No, just
I have it with me. Should I get it?
yeah.
A little plug.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, if you want, I'll get careful with the headphones. So she's just getting the book, guys. I can continue mumbling as she has 2 books, so we have to know what she's reading, because I do know a lot of my listeners are also readers as well. So we'll just see which books she's reading, and then we'll go to why she's reading them. Tap into that. So yeah, she has the books.
Got these the wrong way around.
Yep. No, it's the
No,
other way
it's
around.
the other way around.
Yeah.
Don't put me on the bloopers.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
this is
Start
why
with
it's cringy, because it's called You Can Heal Your Life. So
you can heal your life.
it like sounds very cliche and very cringy, by Louise Hay, but it's actually really interesting, and it's not like I'm reading it for the first time. It's something that I like go back to often.
It's something you've read, but you go back to it.
Exactly.
Okay, hold on. Let me just read this quote.
Okay, go ahead.
If you're willing to do the mental work, almost anything can be healed. Yeah, and it's true. It all starts with the mind. So explain to us what happens with the book, or what the book is all about.
It's basically Louise Hay is a really interesting person, or I should say was a really interesting person, and she believes in positive affirmations and the power of the universe and positive affirmations, and that you can heal yourself through positive affirmations, which, I mean, it's very controversial, and not everyone believes that, and I believe it to an extent, and I feel like whatever you believe is true for you, so like things will work depending on how much you believe in it. But
speaking things into existence,
exactly,
and just having positive thoughts.
Exactly, but I feel like that's very much true for me and worked for my life. And to the point that she had cancer and she healed herself from cancer without any treatment, So
she was getting some treatment.
No, she wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, no, I promise you. Yeah, you should look her up. She's amazing, Louise Hay. But she has a whole section in here that has it shows the problem, the probable cause, and the new thought pattern. So if you have abdominal cramps, the probable cause is fear, stopping the process, and your new thought pattern should be, I trust the process of life and I am safe. So that's just one example, but there's if you look at that, there's it's
so you always read it back and forth. Okay,
yeah, I mean,
when
I don't
you need
always,
something.
I haven't for at least a year, and I just picked it up yesterday, and I was like, I just want to have a look through and a reminder.
Let me just show there.
It's just very interesting, and I love learning about what works for different people and educating myself on
we'll put this
life.
Here, subtle plug.
Yeah.
Can you see it
and then the other book
is
another one that I've read before. But I was just in the mood for when you have one of your favorite books, or it's one of my favorite films and one of my favorite books, and it's called One Day. And it's like a journey through someone's life from university until, actually I don't want to ruin it, until the end of life, I guess. But and it's like a beautiful, heartbreaking love story and friendship, and it's just one of my favorites. So when I just feel like
so
reading
it's about
something,
friendship, love, growing up,
life, career,
kind
being
of
an
like
adult.
where you are, right?
Exactly. And I feel like it's so interesting when I look back even on the last 5 years, and I'm like, oh my god, the person I was then, or what I thought, or who I was friends with, or who I was dating.
Completely different,
Exactly, and this book is kind of that, but it shows it through that time, so you live.
You've given me a nice segue to the next questions that
I
was going to ask you.
I'm scared.
And even just talking about life in general. Before we we'll definitely go to the love segment. We will, because that's where even a lot of people just relate. That's one thing that I think a lot of people
want to hear about love life.
Relate to and kind of want to know how people go about this and that, all those things. True. So I think that's interesting to me and so many other people.
Okay.
But before we get to that, what other things do you do just at your free time to just reboot, the way you've said Instagram was just not mentally healthy for you.
Yeah.
But what other activities do you do? Because I can just tell Poppy is like a mom. How do I describe it? You describe it. You describe what you do for free, just to.
Oh, I don't know. I think I do a lot of physical activity. Every day I do, it's minimal. It's 30 minutes of exercise. Although for the last 2 weeks I've been doing 30 minutes of HIIT workouts.
HIIT?
HIIT. HIIT. High intensity interval training. So you basically say you have a minute, or 3 minutes of exercise, 1 minute of rest. 3 minutes of exercise, 1 minute of rest. So you're getting your body pumping, and then you give yourself a recovery break, and then go again. And then I've been doing 30 minutes of yoga as well, which I've always loved yoga. I just have that silly thing that a lot of us do, which is but I'm not flexible enough, so I can't do it. But you have to start somewhere.
Oh no, I've seen that on your Instagram, right?
Yeah. You have to start somewhere though. I do this 30 days of yoga with Adrian. So on YouTube there's a lady, Yoga with Adrian, and she has amazing videos, and they're so accessible, and it makes you feel like you can do it even if you're really, really
Where do you
bad.
exercise?
Just in my apartment, or on we have a lot of outdoor space.
I just remembered something.
Yeah.
Did I see you doing yoga naked somewhere in the was it? Maybe I'm mistaken. I'm just trying to remember who I saw on my timeline.
Does not sound like me.
No, hold on. Who's doing stretches somewhere? Or
I know what you're talking about. I wasn't stretching.
Oh, you're just naked somewhere outdoors?
Yeah, I went. Me and my friends went up the Aberdares,
So it was you, right?
Let me explain. It might be me. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
like,
see if it's
let
the
me
same
explain.
picture.
Let me explain. Yeah, tell me.
Went for a really long walk, like, I don't know, 10-kilometer walk. Came across this waterfall and didn't have my swimming costume. So I was like, well, and it was freezing, like ice cold water up in the mountains. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna do it. And I had my underwear on. I had my like a thong on. But I think the picture is I'm
Yeah,
bent.
guys, get the picture.
No,
What
no,
she's
no, no,
trying.
no, no,
You've
no,
said.
no, no.
She's actually said
I
the
want to
picture
find the
is.
picture to show you. No, I'm like bent over. You can't see anything. You can just see my
Do you
bum.
hear the words that you're using to describe
No,
everything?
I'm like squatting down and splashing water on my face. Whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
he'll
I'm
plug
playing
it.
with you,
He
yeah.
put the picture in so people can see
Yeah.
that it's not something really dodgy and weird. And I was not doing
No,
some like
no, no,
naked
no.
yoga. I was like going for a dip in
And
the
even if you are,
mountain.
I mean, I think it would just be a good explanation to make people. But does it give you a good feeling? Because
Doing
like you've
yoga?
explained,
Or-
doing it outdoors.
Oh, I don't do it outdoors. I do it in my apartment. Oh, doing what I did.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah, I felt like so free and like I hate cold water and I hate like being cold. I have really bad blood circulation, so I really don't like being cold. So it was like I was overcoming like one of my fears of like getting in cold water.
Just cold water.
And it was just really freeing. There was no one there. It was like just me and my sister and my friend. So like it was amazing. I want to do it again. Like it was so refreshing.
So
I felt
I'll-
just free.
I'll post that picture, guys, because it was nice. I think you put a small caption. I can't remember what it was,
Yeah.
but I was like, oh, this is nice because finally I think she'll be posting more of these.
I think it was something
And-
like take care of yourself, body, mind and soul, something like that.
Yeah, and there was just like a hidden message where I can
Yeah.
tell like there's something to do with yoga and that kind of stuff. So nice.
Yeah.
So apart from yoga,
Yeah.
physical exercise,
Yeah.
staying away from the internet, and all those things really do. I think they change your whole
Yeah,
mindset.
Totally.
When you're going to do like creative work, I'm sure like your mind is so focused.
Yeah. So focused. And I think also spending like a lot of energy on family. I've really realized these last few years I've had some things with my family and realized how close we are as a family and how much we really are there for each other, and that there's nobody like family. No one will get you like family does, and I literally would drop everything in a second for my family, and I know they would for me too. And that's like that realization, like obviously I knew that as a kid. Of course you rely on your family and you know that they're there for you, but to really experience that and know that is like so amazing. So that and also I have like a very small group of friends. Like I don't have loads of friends, but
Am I on that list?
yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, no, obviously.
Okay.
I wouldn't be here if you weren't, right?
Okay. You have a small group of friends.
And I feel like I can be a really good friend to those friends
Yeah.
because I can, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be friends with loads of people and give you half of me, I'm being a good friend to my real friends. Do you know what I mean?
No, I know.
Yeah.
Because going back to social media, people with crazy
Yeah.
amount of friends, but in real life they don't even meet up with these people
Exactly.
or have conversations.
Exactly.
And after like a year or two, you see somebody posting something to do with depression,
Yeah.
and you do
you're
understand.
like,
You're like, well, you have all these friends.
Yeah.
I mean, and they had
Exactly.
nobody to talk to about this and that. Even
Yeah.
suicide rate is still going.
Totally.
It's just because of these little small things,
Yeah.
people not being able to
Yeah.
step out of social
Yeah.
media and real life. You really need to be careful
that's
and
what's like-
understand how to balance.
Exactly. I feel like that's so important. It's so important to be there for your friends and be a good friend to your friends, because you need them to be a good friend to you as well. Everyone needs to support each other. I feel like social media can be a very negative thing of strangers saying horrible things about you,
Yeah.
about really personal things.
And it pisses you
And-
off, and you
and
don't even know these
exactly.
people, man.
So like
Yeah.
you need to be surrounded and supported with people who have your
Who
best
actually
interests at
care about
heart.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and just before we wind up on like just photography and stuff, what's your favorite? What's your like dream camera, or do you have your dream camera and your favorite lens?
Well, my favorite lens is my 85 1.2.
Oh yeah,
Canon
it's
80.
1.2.
Yeah.
Is that what you had then?
Yeah.
Jeez.
But obviously, because I was using a 600D, it wasn't at full
As
capacity.
good, yeah,
It was,
but still
now
now
it's on a full frame.
1.2 is insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My dream camera right now is
Yeah.
a Canon 1DX.
1DX. The 1DX
I
is
literally
insane.
just checked the price though. It's like
Is it
5,000.
5,000? Oh shit.
I'm
Body only.
Yeah.
Oh.
So those are dreams.
Oh man.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna put that into existence.
No, yeah. But you know, that's the funny thing, because even for me, I remember like last year,
Yeah.
I've been using the A6300 for the longest time, right?
Mm-hmm.
For over like, I think 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And I kept on seeing people on YouTube using the Sony A7 III. And I was like, that's the only camera I want
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah.
I really do want that camera.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
And a time came, I did a good job, and I had the money in my hand.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Now or
these-
never.
No. I was like, these can go to my car savings.
Oh my God, don't talk to me about car savings. I am in the exact same situation. I'm
Yeah.
like, should I save for a car
Yeah.
or should I buy a camera and go
Okay.
traveling?
I did have that option this year, and I just made the decision, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm selling all my old gear. I'm
Yeah.
getting all new stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. Like,
Good
I
for
sold my
you.
old stuff, got my frame camera, upgraded everything,
That's amazing.
and I still leave the house and I'm like, what is that car? Isn't that
Yeah,
car
but do you
supposed
know
to be
what?
here?
When
But
you
I'm
think
happy.
about it,
I'm happy.
Exactly. When you think about it, the
this-
quality of your work
Oh.
will take you to a place
No, it will
where
get
you'll
me the
get
car.
more money and you'll get the car
It will,
anyway.
it will get me the car.
That's
It will
my
get me the
logical
car.
way of
Yeah.
thinking.
And it's kind of like now I start appreciating things in a very different way, because you
Yeah.
understand, you work towards this, you get this. You work towards this, you get this.
Yeah,
You
it's a
work
big
towards-
achievement.
Yeah.
And you have to, be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
And everything comes at the time it's meant to come.
Do you think people are kind of like now just wanting success like almost immediately, and that's what like
Oh my God. Yeah,
I
I
think-
do.
I think people just want success
No,
now, and
really.
they don't understand the process.
The process.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I had overnight success, I wouldn't appreciate where I am.
You
I
wouldn't
wouldn't be that
appreciate
proud of
anything.
myself.
Yeah.
But because of how long it's taken to get to where I'm happy to be right now,
Yeah.
I think I appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
And I think having younger siblings who are very much of the social media generation, it makes me feel old to say. It actually really does make me feel like I'm not old, I'm 24, but the difference between me and my sister who's 7 years younger than me, or my sister who's only 5 years younger than me,
Yeah.
the difference in attitude, I feel like it's so
Completely
they've seen
different.
shit like the Kardashians, which is like you just post this and you get that fame, you post
Yep.
that and you get that fame. So they really, especially my brother, has this attitude of like you'll just do something little and you don't want to put in the hard work, but you want all the big success.
All the reward right
Yeah.
now. But that's a new generation kind of thing. But it's unfortunate, but that's just where
But I
we
don't
are.
think that exists because I feel like even the Kardashians work their butts off.
Oh, listen. First of all,
Honestly.
people forget that the Kardashian family, the dad was representing O.J. Simpson.
Yep.
They've always been on the grind
Yep.
for the longest time. Kardashian used to be like interning for people and all those things. Yeah.
But I
they
think
didn't just like do this today and things just worked out for them. No.
I think people forget that, and I think Instagram's very good at showing,
Oh.
I'm just here on holiday doing this, I'm just here on holiday doing that. But even when you're on that holiday, creating that content is a nightmare. I've
Come on.
been with Instagrammers.
Yeah.
It's like exhausting. So you're not, the picture shows that you're enjoying and
You're
having a great
stressed
time.
out, yeah.
But exactly, it's not all glitz and glam and easy, but that's what Instagram is for, showing your best life.
Highlights.
Yeah, so I think it
And
can
not
be
the
deceiving
struggles.
for younger children to think that like that's normal and that's how it should be, and if it's not, they're unhappy and depressed
And that's why, like, even for me now, I don't try and post anything that might make anything seem like it's easy.
yeah.
And I'll tell you, people who ask me, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Even there's
It's a
some
lot of
people who
work.
send me like a message and like, yo, send me a list of all the gear that you own. I want to start a podcast.
Not
See the
that
way
simple.
see the way you laugh. You're like, you do realize, first of all, I don't know where the jackpot is coming from, but even if
No.
you get it, you do have to have the interest
Yeah.
and learn how to use the gear first of all.
Of course.
You need sound to go somewhere, to be hosted in different sites, video to be hosted in different sites, advertise,
Yeah.
organize guests, the one thing we were talking
we
about.
were talking about
All
that.
these things, it takes so much work that if you don't understand, you just see the final output, you'll quit on your first day of the job.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah.
And it's
I
the
agree.
same with photography. Like somebody just
Yeah.
tells you like, I just want a camera. I just
Yeah.
want a camera.
It's not just
Okay,
about
here's the camera.
yeah.
What next?
Now what? Yeah.
Now what? Networking, communicating with clients, chasing payments.
Oh my God! Do you know what? Someone told me when I went for a business workshop,
Yeah.
and someone told me your job, you work in services, and I was like, services? They said, yeah, you provide services to someone, and you deal with customers. You work in customer relationship, and you also work in marketing. Like, as a freelance photographer, I am doing everything for myself. It's not just, oh, I like photography and that's it. There's like a tough side of it as well. And
crazy.
it takes up a lot of time and energy.
I was telling somebody, you'll be, if you don't understand all these things that need to come to play when you're working independently,
Yeah.
you'll be homeless with a split of a second. Yeah,
That's true.
because what if a client doesn't pay you? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
You have a delayed payment.
Yeah. Which happens.
Which happens. 2-3 clients have delayed payments on when you're expected to pay bills.
How are you going to pay your rent?
Yeah. How do you explain that to the landlord?
Yeah.
Like, I got you, this client told me. No.
Yeah.
They're like,
exactly.
that's not my problem. I need to sort my situation as well.
Yeah.
So those little things, and even not being emotional in situations where you're not supposed to, because
Yeah.
this is not your best friend. It's
Yeah,
work.
yeah,
It's a
I know.
client. So you have to be still professional.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I shoot a lot of weddings, and for some reason, I'm not like someone who cries in public or cries a lot in movies, but at weddings, if I see people crying, I'm like, I have to hold myself back.
Oh, you feel
It
like-
really gets to me. I don't know why, but I'm like, I'm not a guest here. Why am I even getting emotionally invested in this?
Oh,
It's
I
so
think I know
bad.
why. Look at you.
I'm just scared about what you're gonna say. No,
No.
I just think it's so sweet and
Yeah.
so like it's happy tears, but it's like
Yeah.
oh, like I just when you see people crying for someone else's love, you're like
Yeah.
oh, there's that love that's that deep that someone's like drawn to that emotion, and then it makes me emotional, and I'm like
Well,
stop it.
speaking of love,
I shouldn't have brought it up, should I?
Thank you for bringing this up, and just
Oh,
at
dear.
least allowing me or pushing me to the next segment.
You're welcome.
Which is love. Okay, last time I checked, you were really deeply in love. Listen,
Was I?
let me finish,
Oh,
Poppy.
God, how sweet.
Let me finish. I haven't even started yet.
Oh.
Huh? Last time I checked, you seem to be in love, and by now, to be honest, I thought you'd have like at least 2 babies, at least 2 kids by now. But I just want to know, like, how it's just like, because also that can either slow like our creative process as creatives, or boost it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just one of those things as an artist, you also have to be careful when you're dealing with it. And I'd just like to know, like, when are you getting married and when are you planning to have kids?
Well, I'm very much single, and I'm
Poppy, you're
not planning on getting-
single. No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
You're not single, Poppy.
Am I
Are
not?
you?
Yeah.
You were traveling around the world with your boyfriend,
I
right?
did, and we had an amazing time, and we're still like best friends, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
We speak very regularly and very much a part of each other's lives.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes things don't work out, right?
Not from what I had left behind, Poppy.
Yeah. So we have to remember, how old was I? 18
Yeah?
when we were last chatting or
Yeah.
hanging out.
Yeah.
18. Like my first love, you know.
Oh, that was your first love, yeah.
Yeah. And I think.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah, and I think also that what you just said about some relationships like excel you creatively and some don't, and I think I put everything I had into my relationship.
Oh no!
And had I put nothing into
no.
myself and nothing into my work. And
Yeah,
so
but it
when
happens
that
too.
ended, I was like, who am I?
You're
And
lost. You
yeah.
have to now start.
Exactly. But
figure.
because of that, then I was on my own and I really focused on myself and figured out who I am and what I want. And I'm exactly where I want to be now because of that, because I've only been focusing on myself.
So guys, first of all, before she continues talking, guys who are always asking, like, is your guest single? You already know. I mean,
stop.
she said she checks her DMs occasionally. So,
Don't DM me.
aim for festive season, December, when she's happy, celebrations and stuff. That would be a good time to send a DM. Just saying. I'm just looking out for my
You're
listeners.
being my wingman on the podcast.
Yes. Isn't that
no,
a good
I'm not going to high five that. I'm so happily single. I just want to say that, by the way. Please don't talk to me. Leave me for like another year. I'm loving.
But how does it feel?
being
How does it feel being single?
I'm really enjoying it, actually. I feel like for the first time in my life, I'm just thinking about myself.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to come home and just have that alone time. I really enjoy being on my own and then spending lots of time with my family and friends and really focusing on those relationships, which are the ones that will always be there at the end of the day. And I feel like often when you're in a relationship, you can neglect.
Isn't it crazy?
Your
Because,
friendships.
when you're in that, like, good love,
Yeah.
at times you don't even know that people exist around
I was
you.
blind. I was blindly in love.
People don't exist around you. You're just like, you're in this whole zone that's... And I think it's so dangerous that it scares me. It does. That's why, like, when I see people who can actually just act normal when they're in a relationship, I respect that.
Yeah.
Because you see them balancing this and that.
Yeah.
It's not like...
So my last relationship was
Yeah.
more like that.
Yeah.
But I did the opposite thing and I didn't really put any effort into the relationship and focused on my sister and because she was living with me and myself and my work and only put a tiny bit of myself into that relationship. So I didn't grow that at all. So now I need to learn to
Wait,
find
you had
the balance.
another one after the other one?
Very short little one.
Oh, wow. Poppy.
Stop.
So proud of you.
Stop.
Poppy. Okay, wait. So, is it that you felt like, I think like I still need to be with somebody else, or you just didn't want to be alone? Because you're saying it was like a short.
Yeah,
It
it
wasn't
wasn't
like the
no,
other
it
one.
just happened. It wasn't like planned. I never
You just
planned these
clicked,
things.
or just
It
clicked?
just happened, yeah.
Or is it one of those cheeky guys who always like, you can always count on me.
No,
if you
no,
have
no,
problems,
no.
you can
No,
talk to
no,
me.
no, no, it
and then
wasn't
like,
like that.
boom. Like,
No,
gotcha.
no. It was a friend, but it wasn't like that at all.
Were you talking to this friend about your problems?
No.
Never?
No, actually.
Really?
No.
Okay.
It
I'm
was
just interested to know like what kind of game somebody would use, like,
to get me.
Yeah.
I don't
And the
think
listeners too. I mean,
I would
want
hope
people.
no one will be playing any games. I
No,
don't like
not
games.
games. Like, okay, what would a guy do to get like Poppy's attention?
Be my friend.
Let's see it. He has to be in
And
the
make
friend
me laugh.
zone. He has to be in the friend zone and be a comedian as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jeez. Well, I hope you guys who are sliding the DM have nice jokes. Hope you got jokes.
Why are you putting me? I don't want to be.
No,
I don't
I'm
want any
just
guys
saying,
coming
I'm
for
just
me.
saying.
Or girls.
Okay, nice person. Oh.
No, I'm saying I don't.
Well, listen. I wasn't even thinking about that, but now that you've brought it
Okay.
up, I'm just asking
Yeah.
because I've
Yeah.
just had that. Not about you.
Oh.
I've had not
I'm
about
like,
you. Look at you.
what?
You're like, what you had? What? I'm saying I've had like there's
Yeah.
some girls at times like let's say you're in a long-term relationship, and then if the relationship didn't end well,
Yeah.
gets to a point where you like even now hate all other men,
Oh.
and then now you switch up to like
I've heard
like
of
you know
that
what?
too.
Let me just try dating girls.
Yeah. No. I
Have you
think
tried?
both. No, not at all. I think I'm.
It might not be a bad idea because you've tried the second. Oh, I'm sorry. Just say what you wanted to say. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
think
Yeah.
that both my relationships ended very like amicably, and I'm
Yeah.
still friends with both those people. So it's not like, I don't hate men at all. It's nothing. The reason I want to be alone and I'm enjoying this time isn't because I hate men. And I have
Just
a lot of
'cause-
friends who are guys, and I can still be attracted to a guy, but I just don't want to pursue anything right now because I'm enjoying this time. Like, I have plenty of time to settle down with someone or whatever. Like, I'm just gonna enjoy where I am right now in life because it's good. Having like no responsibility and no emotional attachment to someone, it's really nice. But I think what I believe is that there's a spectrum, and some people are halfway, some people are fully lesbian, some people are fully straight, some people are somewhere in between, some people have dabbled in one or whatever. But I think I'm like very much straight. I can't even, nicely said, but I can't
Or
pretend.
see a girl in that way. That's not
No,
you.
I can appreciate that a girl's like really attractive. I can
Because
go,
like
"Oh,
even
she's
as
hot."
even as a photographer,
Yeah.
at times you can see they have that eye like.
or someone's really beautiful.
Exactly,
For
exactly.
sure. But I've never been sexually attracted to a woman. It doesn't mean that I never will be. Maybe I will one day, but I doubt it.
Definitely do a second podcast after you mention or if I see that anywhere. Okay, and then just because you've said you still friends like with your exes, right? But how is like, because you're saying you parted ways, just like there was no like any bitterness or,
Yeah.
and how does that kind of breakup come about? It's like, I don't think this is working out. Do we just do it like in the movies or?
I think it's just maturity, isn't it?
But you have that discussion like, we need to talk. If somebody tells me we need to
yeah.
talk, I just run away because I know this is not going
That's
anywhere.
not what you want to hear.
Yeah.
I think you just have to be a grown-up about it. And I feel like what I've seen in the last year or so just has opened me up to realize, like, you never know what will happen. And you know how sometimes you surprise yourself? Like if you looked at yourself a few years ago, you wouldn't think you'd do something that you would do now today, and you go, oh my god, I wouldn't even know that I'm that kind of person or that I would do that. So if you can surprise yourself like that, how can you think that somebody else won't surprise you? Like, people can change their mind overnight, or someone can walk into your life and like turn your head or whatever. So I think you just have to be like open-minded and understanding that like life is life. Don't be shocked by anything. Don't be surprised by like what could happen. Just like, that's life and it's an
Shit
experience.
happens. Yeah,
Exactly. Shit
yeah.
happens, and I feel like it makes you the person you are today. Like, if I hadn't gone through anything that I'd gone through in the past in terms
Would
of
have still been
relationships,
the same
I would be
innocent.
very naive and innocent
And
right
wouldn't
now.
you hate for that to happen to you when you're much older and
And
in
like
a serious
with marriage and kids, or
Oh.
let it happen to you now. Like,
Yeah.
it's it's life. And I just think right now I'm just so like chilled out about anything like that I'm like, well, it's all the past and it's all
happens.
experience, and people make mistakes and people grow from it, and we all learn, and nothing's like, if someone does something when they're with you, for example, in a relationship, and you go, oh, someone cheated on me. They didn't cheat on you. They didn't do anything to you. They did something to themselves and for themselves.
it's them. Don't
Exactly.
let that affect,
Don't
like,
let it. Obviously, it's going to bother you or upset
Yeah.
you or whatever. But like, it's not about you. It's about that person, and it's about their own shit. It's got nothing to do with you. So you just like learn from that. I think because of that, it's been like quite mature, and you just kind of. Yeah, no one's done anything bad as well. No one's done anything horrible. You just sometimes grow apart, or you like I wasn't myself anymore. So if you're not yourself, how can you expect that person to still be attracted to you the way they were if you're not the person you were
Also,
anyway?
you broke up with them?
No.
Is that what we're saying?
No, I'm not saying. I'm not going to say any details about any
Because
of it.
I know I asked a question and you've talked for like 5 minutes and you haven't mentioned about that how conversation.
I'm not going to say who broke up with who
Okay,
or
don't
why.
say it. But how does that conversation go? Okay, do you sit down and discuss about it and say like, this is
I
not
think
working
both
out
times we sat
between
down
us,
and
and then everybody just goes their separate ways?
yeah, and I think it's not that simple. If you've been with someone like
Yeah.
my first relationship, we're together for like 3.5 years. It's not just, and then you go separate ways and that's it. Like, we're very good friends and we're very much a part of each other's lives still, even if we've both moved on. you still have a lot of love for that person and care for that person and want to know that they're okay and check in.
Or you
and
keep
stuff
them
like that.
around just so in case you
No,
ever.
no, that one. Never go back.
Like,
Don't
no.
go back to your exes. That's not good. There's a reason you broke up.
Okay, interesting. But do you ever see yourself like, just in future getting married, perhaps getting children?
I'm
Is
gonna
that something?
No, I'm joking.
Do you ever see yourself,
I'm
that
not sure
situation?
about marriage, and I always said I wanted kids, but I'm not sure. You just
Come on,
you
what?
never know what life will throw at you.
You're doing all this yoga, taking care of yourself and everything, and you don't want to have kids, Poppy?
Yeah, I think I might. Maybe I do, but the state of the world right now and like what we've created and what we're heading towards, I feel like it would
horrible.
almost be selfish for me. Like the reason I would have a child is for my own selfish reasons. Oh, I want like someone who's half me and the person I love or whatever. I want to bring a person into this world, or if I want it from my experience or whatever. It's selfish of me to do that if I can't promise my child that I can give them like the life that they deserve. Like I feel like that's really, really selfish right now. So who knows in the future, but right now I just feel like that's where my head's at.
You'll just wait till that time comes and deal with it.
Well, until I know that I can provide that for my child, that security
true,
and that safety and that upbringing that anyone deserves in their life,
I think old school guys had it like way easier. Like right now there's just too much confusion, especially social media.
Climate change.
Yeah. The whole internet era, first of all, just screwed everything over.
Yeah, it's
it's
scary,
just
isn't
too
it?
much. It's scary. And even just for anybody also, I have to commend people who have families now and they're dealing with them
Yeah.
at a young age. You have to respect that because
Yeah,
I
it
don't
takes a
think
lot more, I think.
it's not easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, nice. I think we've talked about enough about the love segment.
Thank you.
I'm just glad I invited you
Wait,
for the
what
podcast.
about your love life?
I'm single.
Okay, so
I've broken up enough times. It's only fair for me to take a rest first of all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone out there want to send some DMs
No.
to this lovely man over here?
Oh, please do, by the way. Please do.
There you go.
Festive season, cuffing season is coming up.
Yeah, it's time for like cuddles and snuggles.
Will you be here during the festive season? Or no?
I'm not sure.
Not yet. You haven't decided,
I
or you're
haven't
not
decided.
sure? You haven't decided.
I haven't decided.
And I know you have a
We'll
love
see.
for. Is it Diani, coastal
Lamu.
area? Lamu.
I love Lamu.
Lamu,
But
yeah.
I was there last year for Christmas and New
Yeah.
Year's. Oh, not
So you
Christmas,
want to try
New Year.
something different?
Yeah,
Have you been to Zanzibar?
yeah. Not at
Zanzibar.
Christmas though,
Oh yeah.
but I've been twice. Yeah, I love Zanzibar.
Zanzibar is a paradise,
Yeah,
right?
it is. It's gorgeous. But I
Many
think
people
Christmas
live
it's
there.
like so busy and touristy.
Mm.
And they have this music festival in February that's amazing
Mm-hmm.
called Sauti za Busara, and that's a really fun time to go. That's really cool.
So what do you normally do during the holidays?
Um,
Because your episode is dropping festive season.
I usually, what I like to do is
Yeah.
go to England and hope for snow and have a big roast dinner and do like evenings around the fire and go for long walks all wrapped up warm and watch movies with the family and just really have like quality family time and yeah.
See,
read
that's why
books,
you need to start
do
a family.
puzzles.
That's why you need to start a family.
But I have family. I have my siblings.
Oh no, I'm
and my-
saying you know what I mean. You know.
I know what you mean, but I just
I think the way you're describing like a lot of things.
yeah.
It's what like if somebody had a mother who has like all those things, you'll always have like that permanent
That
connection.
vision,
Yeah, permanent because you're always you're talking about taking walks, going to spend time here, traveling. All those things would be good if you introduced.
You never know what the future holds.
Hey,
We'll see.
Like I said, guys, put her handle there. I don't need to say anything else. I don't need to say anything else.
No, you don't.
But
You
yeah.
can stop talking now, okay?
So, as we just wind up the podcast,
Yeah.
I always ask people one outro, like just question,
Oh, God.
right? No, it's nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Probably
Nothing
is.
crazy. I told you I'll play nice.
Okay, yeah, you did.
Because I did.
But you haven't played that nice.
I
This whole
have.
love section has got really deep. I'm like trying to get my
You know what?
personal details
No, but here's
out.
the thing. You see, the thing is, even in the love section, maybe you didn't notice, I was just speaking on some things, and then I was just keeping quiet.
Whatever.
And you were talking for a
Whatever.
long time. You're talking your ass out. I was just like, yeah.
Well, I can't just say like yes or no.
Yeah. But like
That's
I
not
told
good
you, the
enough for
best
you.
thing about the podcast is like once you start having that discussion,
Yeah.
it's just like general talk. What
Yeah.
you discuss with a friend somewhere when you're
Yeah.
having coffee and stuff. And that's the whole idea of the podcast. And I can tell you're enjoying and having
I
a
know,
good time,
I'm
right?
eating, I'm drinking.
Yes. So the final question I normally ask people is, what's the one thing that right now you're either chasing, in pursuit of, that if you get it, it might give your life maybe a whole different meaning, satisfaction, fulfillment, or happiness?
Are you talking in terms of like an object?
It doesn't have to be an object,
feel
but,
like I
but
have,
there's
like,
one thing
at
that
least
you actually
5 answers to
constantly, you have 5?
Well, yeah, I feel like I've
Okay,
touched on
say
all
them.
of those things.
Say
One
them.
would be like the camera that I want,
Oh yeah.
a physical
Okay.
thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Another would be to be more flexible in my yoga and to be like to do more meditation, because I feel like that will make me so much like happier inside.
Mm-hmm.
What else? To travel more. Yeah, and then the fourth one.
Fourth one. Fourth
Bloody
one.
hell.
Yeah.
The fourth one
Yeah.
is to put myself out there a bit more. I had this conversation with my friend yesterday, and he said it's not a word, but I'm an extroverted introvert. Apparently that's not a thing, but it is a thing. I'll explain it. It's that I'm like, people who know me know that I'm like crazy and loud and bubbly and in your face and whatever. I'll be the loudest person in the room if I
Really?
know everyone in the room. But if
Or like
I
amongst
don't,
your people.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But for example, at the party last week when you met
Yeah.
me, I was only talking to one person. That was my best friend, and I
Yeah,
didn't
it's
like.
just like
I'm very
'cause
quiet.
I saw you from afar. I'm like,
Yeah.
She looks familiar, but who's this asshole who's not talking to anyone else apart from just their friend?
That's my point.
I'm
I'm like
playing, though, I'm
really
playing.
introverted when
Yeah.
it comes to like groups. I get really like anxious and nervous
Really?
and scared of meeting new
Really?
people. Yeah. So I
Also,
want to
wait,
work on that.
when
I
you
wanna
walked
be-
in the party,
Oh my
and
God.
don't forget
Thank
the
God I was
first
with
one.
my friend.
Don't forget the last one that you're supposed to say, right? Because we're on the fourth one.
No, I think I was making a joke when I said I have about 5. I
So
had
you have 4.
Yeah.
Okay. When you walked in the party,
Yeah.
did you go around and say
Nope.
hi to everyone?
We went straight to a table and sat down, and then people came and said hi to us because we were clearly looked like absolute dicks and were so rude. But it's not that, it's that I actually get scared. I'm
Yeah,
like, how do
yeah.
I just approach someone? What if they're like in the middle of a conversation? They're like, what are you doing? You know, I just feel I get so nervous, and so that's something I really want to overcome, and just like the reality of it is it's actually the polite thing to do is to go and say hi to everyone, and everyone will appreciate that rather than going and sit in a corner and like looking like
I
I'm
said hi to
antisocial.
everyone.
I know.
I said hi to
Most people,
everyone.
everyone did
Like
when
if
they
I
came
walk
in. I was
you
the
just,
only one.
but it's at times even for me. Like I think but that's when maybe I finished high school. I used to
Yeah.
have that,
Yeah,
but I started like just forcing myself to socialize with people.
yeah.
And I kind of like now, what's
But
the worst
see,
thing?
that's what I want to do.
Yeah, because
What's
even
the
if you
worst
try
thing
and
that's
say
gonna
hi to someone, and because there's some people who go to say hi to and they'll just look at you.
Yep.
See, maybe you had your hand all out already, and then be like, and then just keep talking to the person.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, okay.
Well, anyway, that makes
I mean,
them
that's
look
you.
stupid, not
yeah,
you.
that's you, not
Yeah,
me. So I
it's
mean,
true.
I kind of like force myself to
Yeah.
get through all those things, and
I need to
things-
learn from you.
just force yourself.
Yeah, but it's so scary.
Go to these little social settings when they have like meetups and stuff.
I know,
And
that's-
look at you like,
It
oh,
really
no way.
makes me like.
No way?
"Ooh." No, it makes me
Too
so
much.
anxious. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I just. Yeah.
Make that a plan for 2020.
Yeah.
Just
No,
try.
I'll make it a plan for right now.
Yeah, so that just and even festive season, it's good because
Yeah.
a lot of people, gatherings and stuff. Just
Exactly.
try it out.
I will.
Because I mean,
I need-
when
yeah.
you're being single, you don't want to go
The
crazy
funny
as well.
thing
You want
is,
to talk to
though,
people, right?
When I have my camera in my hand, I'm
Oh, it's much
totally
easier.
fine. Like
It's
I
much
shoot
easier.
weddings and I have to make people laugh, so I get a nice shot and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
No problem, because I feel like I have a purpose.
Yeah.
But if I'm just by myself, I can't hide behind anything. Then
Try leaving the camera at home. Because
because
even at the party, I came with my camera, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to take pictures. I just want to talk,
yeah,
take shots,
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
we
took
got-
a lot of shots.
we got
Even when I
Tatiana.
left, you were quite lit, and so was she. She karate chopped her cake.
Yeah.
That was
Because
epic.
When
That's
she was
I
saying
left.
that, I thought she was joking.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she's like, I'm doing it, guys.
And
I was
then
like,
and
hey,
then I
okay.
walked out because I was laughing
But
so much.
I started with the shots. But
Yeah.
it got somewhere in the middle. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, this is too much. Because
Yeah.
she kept saying like, guys, let's do another round.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is going out of control. Going out of control.
Yeah.
But good times, good times.
Good
You're
times
not taking
indeed.
the shots, why are you? You're hiding
No, I
somewhere.
told you I'm cleansing.
So
So
you're just
no
watching
alcohol.
everybody else just getting drunk? Was I that high? Was I
You
high?
weren't that high, but
But
you
you
were
can
like
tell
buzzing
that
a
I'm
bit.
buzzed, eh?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. No, but it's a nice level.
No, yeah.
It's
Because
a
I
nice-
never want to get to, too
Sloppy.
much. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
sloppy just gets like now. People are looking at you like, yo.
I've definitely been there.
You have?
Yeah. Back in those days.
I've never seen you drunk, Poppy.
You didn't see me the time. Anyway, once we turn this off,
Oh,
I'll
well,
tell you.
wait,
No,
sir.
no. Honestly,
Oh,
I'll-
okay.
I'll
After,
tell
okay,
you after.
tell me. I
Sorry,
have
guys.
never seen you drunk. Ever.
Well, that's good to know. You
Yeah.
have. You just didn't know. You've definitely seen me drunk before, but you haven't seen me like sloppy drunk. Because I don't do it anymore. Obviously, I did it like once, and I was like, oh.
Okay, let's finish the podcast
Yeah.
and then you'll tell me more about this. So anyway, where can people find you? And do you want people? First of all, do you want
Don't
people to
find
find?
me. Don't look for
No,
me.
we've talked
I'm
about
joking. Yeah.
improving on
Yeah, no. I'm
Yeah.
going to be social. I want to meet you guys.
That's a lie. That just sounds like a lie. Yeah, where can people find you, even for work?
Yeah.
People want to reach out. Where can people find you for work?
My website,
Yeah. Which is?
poppymiyongaphotography.com. And I guess I should say my Instagram, Poppy Miyonga,
Yeah.
but don't expect a quick reply on there.
Don't expect anything.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my website is probably the best bet. And email.
Yeah.
I check my emails every day.
She does amazing. Should I say portrait photography, or what would I describe you?
I mean, on my website, I suppose I have a bit of everything, really, don't
everything,
I?
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if anybody wants to reach out for like amazing photography service, definitely check her out.
Bless
She has
you.
amazing work,
That's so sweet.
and you can get a discount if you use the promo code.
Hey.
Bandage. So yeah, but just reach out, and she has amazing work, man. And if you've had anything on the podcast and you want to ask her anything
Yeah, feel
concerning
free.
that, just reach out, talk to her. She might inspire you in one way or another, but just feel free to reach out.
Yeah, do.
Thanks for coming
Thanks
through,
for
Poppy.
having me. It wasn't as scary as I thought.
It wasn't as bad as because there will be a camera.
I was oh my
But
god.
I made it stick to minimum. So guys, make sure you subscribe. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Castbox, Instagram, Facebook. You get updates daily and full episodes at the end of the week or midweek and weekend. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's the Kiss Captains podcast. Goodbye.